Right. Hello, welcome all. Friday night racing with VRL League. Bear with me a little bit tonight. I'm on a little bit of a go slow with no preparation whatsoever, so bear with me. Abu Dhabi Grand Prix this evening with us. 18 minutes of qualifying coming up in the next couple of minutes, followed by a 50% race. Now, Abu Dhabi normally the end of the season. We are just over halfway in our league season as this track is dropped in. Hopefully we'll have a good showing. Currently 14 drivers loaded in, ready to go. I think we'll be going in a couple of minutes time. I think we're missing one or two from what I can see, but we'll see if they do get joined up in time this evening. I am in the one car that I specifically do not like tonight for a Friday night league, which is the Haas. Personally, do not enjoy the Haas F1 team. As I say that, Mazepin joined. Perfect time, although he's in a runner. And not in Haas tonight. We're just waiting to see the host ready up, and then we'll be heading out onto the track for qualifying. Anyone watching the current Formula 1 season, which I suspect there might be quite a few of you out there watching it. Obviously 3 races down so far. Very close championship battle going on, with Mercedes looking to have a little bit of an upper hand in practice 1 and practice 2 today for race 4, which is this weekend at Catalonia in Spain. Now it'll be quite nice to actually see the race go down to the wire this year for the drivers and constructors championship, to be honest. It'll be quite a good battle. The last time that actually happened and the drivers champion was crowned at the final race of the season was 2016, where Nico Rosberg won the World Championship and Lewis Hamilton in second place on that occasion, although Lewis did actually win the race that time out. So just loading in. As soon as we've loaded through for qualifying, 18 minutes we'll start counting down, and it honestly does fly by so fast. It's quite a long track, Abu Dhabi, so it takes a little bit longer to do an outlap. I think we'll aim to do 2 hot laps as per usual for myself, and get 2 nice clean laps in. So before we do anything though, we will put a setup on. Where are we? Abu Dhabi. There we are. We've got dry weather for both the qualifying and the race as well. Just going to give it a couple of moments while the first initial fast runners head out, and then we will go out in a couple of moments' time.
All clear the garage, please. Car ready to leave.
So for anyone who hasn't ever seen the Grand Prix at Abu Dhabi, it's a very special pit lane here, as we can see. So it actually cuts underneath the track. Very easy to take your front wing off. So a little bit of caution going through there during the race. You don't want to be taking a wing off as you're exiting, because you'll be straight back in the pits at the end of your lap. Now, I must say, I haven't practiced today on this track, and to be honest, I can't think when we last had a Grand Prix here. I think there was one that I might have missed about 2 weeks ago. Prior to that, it must have been about 2-3 weeks prior to that, so it has been a little while. So just going around circuit in the middle of sector 2 as we speak. And then you've got quite a complex final sector here, especially these couple of corners which are coming into now. And here we go then, going on to our hot lap. A little bit deep there into the hairpin, but hopefully make it back throughout the lap. Until then, actually been quite a clean lap. A few corners that could have been a little bit quicker, so hopefully see some improvements on our second run, but certainly good to get time on the board at this early stage. There we are, so first flying lap over, puts in provisional P2. Now I believe there might only be 2 of us who have actually set a lap out at this point, so certainly won't be realistic for a couple of minutes until we do.
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
See some representative times from everyone posted. We see everyone will start popping up now. So to be honest, don't really pay much attention at this early stage to the timing boards there. See, Chris Taps has gone faster. Not entirely sure by how much at this stage without looking, which we'll have a look at when we're back in the garage. Cody and Josh Boy both have gone slower. Now Cody's actually done it on the medium tyre, which is probably why he's gone slower. So obviously he could well switch on to soft tyres later on and decide to go on a soft tyre run, but he's trying to get through on mediums for a better race strategy. Callum there obviously popping in a time behind us as well. Got some traffic following us into the hotel as well, so we're not going to be hanging around.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Don't want to burn up these tyres, there's a high chance could have to start them tonight. I'd probably expect us to be just outside the top 10, to be completely honest. Looking at the grid, I think it might be quite hard to get points tonight unless there's a few incidents for people, as we see a Ferrari pulled off to the side of the road I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Okay, so back in. First thing we'll do, hit a new set of tyres on. There we go then. So looking at the current board, to be honest, certainly a little bit of time left in the car.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 35.5.
2 ahead of Joshy Boy is very possible. Callum would not normally be 3/10 off me. We're normally more like within a tenth of each other, as it stands at the moment, unless it's one of 2 or 3 tracks where he does tend to be about half a second ahead, but certainly not that far behind. I'd expect him to improve. See Jake there just jump up on a 35.0.
Speed trap 203.
Now he's normally someone I would
miles
be
per hour.
pretty much on pace with, so that's more realistic to what I'd hope to see in my second time lap. And then Cody there, 36.2. That is definitely, I was going to say it's definitely not a representative lap, but on the medium side potentially that could be. So what we're going to do is have a little look for a bit of space. We'll probably wait for the 2 Mercedes to come round, and then head back out on track.
Engine fired, we're set.
Hey up. I'll just say it very easy down there as we see, who is that? Cody there. Obviously misjudging it by the looks of it. I don't know whether he's taking damage potentially because of that as well. Although, not ideal being stuck behind him on the exit of that onto a warm lap now. It doesn't look like he's got damage. It does look like he'll be going for a hot lap when he does get around there. We'll just get set up and yes, I think he's actually letting us past. Yep. Thanks, Cody, mate. Letting us through. Now he's actually gone on to the soft tyre, like I was saying earlier. He did a run on the medium. Obviously he's outside the top 10, so it's really not worth it. So he's going on the soft to try and get in that top 10, get a couple more positions on the grid. I'm surprised he hasn't dropped back a little bit from us as we come into this last sector. In fact, I'm very surprised he hasn't dropped back from us going into this last sector. There we go then. So, we want to be looking for about 3 or 4 tenth gain on this lap compared to our first attempt, as we actually messed up turn 1. I think before we burn these tyres up we will bail on this lap. Already 4 tenths down. Turn 1 lost a tenth straight away, and entering the first chicane as well. So we're actually going to baby these back round, but obviously keep an eye on tyre temps there, just to make sure we do get around in one piece, and that they're in a good temperature range for another flying lap. Yeah, baby it around the corners, and there we go. Tyres looking alright at the moment. So advantage of going out with a little bit more fuel. Situations such as this can go for a second flying lap, as we are going to on this occasion. Here we are. Still got a little bit of kick of oversteer as we exited there, but certainly much tighter in the first attempt, although we're still 2 tenths down there. So a lot of time to now find back in the lap.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining. Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
So I'm going to quickly bolt on a new set here. I wouldn't usually go for a third run, but they were not ideal runs in the slightest, both with a few bad corners, so we'll bail out of that.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:35.5.
Okay, so we can get straight back out, make sure we get this time in. Could done with probably dropping the fuel load, but again, if we have the same issue, we can go again. We might just about have time. They're just taking it steady, obviously giving Callum a little bit of space there. Within about 2 seconds you will get a distant tow. which wouldn't be bad, and we aren't on a much different pace, so it could work to my benefit, this. Here we are then, last crack at it. We certainly won't get back round again in time if we did want to go for another lap. So we have got to absolutely nail this.
Just 30 seconds left in the session.
There's slight improvement there. Doesn't improve position, improves time a little bit. Quarter of a second improvement. And that tenth or two lost in that last sector would have actually been a position. That is how close it was. A tenth would have been 2 positions there. But the 2 Renaults there just pipping us to it. I think they're actually on laps now, they may well improve. Cody has finished behind us. The Extremist, is he out on the lap? He is. Let's have a little look how he gets on the last couple of corners. So he will improve, I'd expect him to go well ahead. There we are, pushing us all down. So he goes in P6. Who's still on our lap? Top guys, here we go. Jonathan Cox, can he take pole last minute? No, he can't. Jofta is getting out of the way. Leppy has bailed on his lap, so won't improve. Mazepin coming round penultimate corner, no, he's invalidated. Josh Boy coming over the line, and a massive improvement there from Josh Boy. I think that is everyone, just waiting for Jofta here to get back as we see the end of qualifying. P14. So I would normally say points. Lately I've had 2 4ths, a 3rd, a 7th and an 8th over the last 5 races. Can't remember in what order. I know 3rd last time out in Mexico. However, somehow I can't see points being on the cards very easily tonight. Start down P14. There's a lot of the quick races in this evening. So if we can scrape a point or 2 even at the back end of the points, P9, P10, I think I would actually be quite happy with that this evening. Failing that, a safety car would be nice at the right times when we're looking at our pit stops. Now, strategy wise, yeah, I was going to say it will be a 2-stop. Now, as to which is very, very questionable. I'll leave it as it is for now and see how we get on in this first stint. Very surprised there to see soft tyres on the McLaren and on the Renault. Very, very odd call there.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want to bog down.
There you go, so reforming the grid. Good luck to all races out there tonight. Hopefully have a nice clean race. I'm not sure exactly what happened last night. Obviously I was not in, but I heard there was a few incidents on turn 1, so we will play it safe and look for a very clean race tonight. Five lights. Lights out, away we go now. I don't know what happened there, but about 3 or 4 different drivers pipped the start, and what is going on? We will just keep well clear.
VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed.
Turned in on.
We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down, maintain a positive delta.
Very, very odd to just get completely turned in on. Don't know what happened there, but yeah. Casey's got to drive through. So McLaren was Cody that came completely across our line.
VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
There we go, Leppy also drive through penalty there. So I'll run at the back. I'm just going to keep clear of all going on around us. I think Leppy also might have damage. And mediums have certainly lost a lot of temperature there. Optics down to P12. He must have got caught with an incident at the start there, which we have to go and avoid. What are the racers up to this evening as Casey gets knocked round by Leppy? I don't know what we've just witnessed there, but this is not league racing. There's a lot of pain going on. There is a lot. I don't know what's going on tonight, but racing etiquette's gone out the window for these guys, although certainly could help us in the long run here. So in terms of race strategy, this really could help us now and open the race up to us. So as we were in last, it is quite easy to do the maths. It's 6 cars that have boxed. As we see on there, Leppy's still in the pits. Now some of these have also got have had drive-through penalties to serve. That was Leppy and Casey Jennett. Now, not only that, they're also going to have to then rebox if they did take damage. Now, I believe Casey did have damage. Leppy didn't seem to have any when I had a little look, but debatable. So now we've got a lot of cars out of position to where normally would be. So very, very interesting how this race is going to pan out now. There's going to be a lot of people twiddling their thumbs and thinking, hang on a minute, there goes my strategy, what do I do next? Luckily for us, although we did get caught up a little bit in there, we have managed to get through without any damage there on the front wing. Although it certainly did cost us a good place there at the start, which is a little bit annoying, since though Cody, who caused the damage, is actually
DRS is
ahead
now
by 2
available.
places, which is pretty much where we would have been. It did lose that time, and we ended up losing 4 seconds under the virtual safety car because of it. So it's all eyes now really on the 2 gaps. Gap in front, 3.9. I think that's realistic. It's probably going to stay around there or actually get opened up. I don't expect to close that gap, if I'm honest. Gap behind 9.6, 9.7. Now, Chris Tapps I've never actually raced with. I don't recognise the name anyway. If I have, then I do apologise. But I don't think I have. So I'm not entirely sure what his pace is like. In fact, he's just taken half a second out of me in that one corner. And some more debris there. Looks like a front wing end plate. And as we start to catch the pack now, it's going to start getting quite interesting. It is Jake who's dropped back quite a few places in the other McLaren, so potentially could see him pit with damage. No, it stays out. Whoa, we have got debris everywhere. Now that was actually polystyrene from someone going through one of the marker boards for braking or advertising, rather than lumps of carbon fibre off a car.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
Brought ourselves quite well into contention in this battle now. Jake is struggling on those soft tyres. He's not going to want to get held up behind the likes of those on the mediums, but he does seem to be now right in this battle as he goes wheel to wheel with his teammate. I honestly don't want to attack into this next corner, looking at how close it is going to be, but yeah, I think we'll be sensible and just give it a little bit of room. For that reason, as the McLaren and the Ferrari go wheel to wheel, McLaren and McLaren going wheel to wheel, I am going to lift out here. It is now costing me lap time, having to lift off lap after lap. We have caught them a lot quicker than we thought, and the guys behind have caught 2 seconds in the time I've been stuck behind these. As we see, Leppy picking up his first corner cut in. 3-second penalty for the evening. A little bit of wheel spin out there, back end went. Don't know if we're going to make the move on this lap. Getting pushed out as wide as he can actually push me there. This is now starting to absolutely kill my race. Cody has caused me not only time at the start and a position, but it's now also holding me up and backing me into the likes of the people behind who are now lapping much quicker. That is simply because of the amount of time I'm having to lift off.
At the moment, the car behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
So he's going to look for the cutback as we go a little bit untidy there. Again, he's just lifting off so much. Come on, Cody, mate, what are you doing? Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. How much closer do you want to me? Can there run him out? There we go. Although I've just completely cut that, so that is going to give the place back just out of fairness. Although that is weaving in the braking zone, mate, that's not allowed. That's a big no-no. Whoa!
Nice move.
Okay, let's choose that corner.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Oh, there we go. That's
We've been
3 second
awarded a
penalty for
time
that.
penalty.
I did
It will
expect
go
that.
against our
Somebody turned
finishing
into
time at the end of the
completely
race.
completely messing my turn-ups in tonight. It's come into quite a scrappy little sector. He's not going to go for an overtake there, surely. Have to just avoid there a little bit.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Fuel is looking really good. You're managing it well. Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now. Okay, clear. We want to pit this lap, so push now. confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
That's a little bit of a scrappy couple of laps coming to an end, thankfully for me. I'm glad to see the back of those few laps. And yeah, on to the next stint, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of a cleaner stint. I'm just going to flick and change strategy ever so slightly there. Wasn't aware that we took any wing damage at any point.
Exit now.
So quite interested that we've just had a front wing change.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
So of the 16 that start, we have got 15 cars in the race still. Just trying to work out what's going on with a few of them that seem a bit out of place. Leppy is realistic, I suppose, in that position. Optics down there in 13th is not realistic in that position. He would normally be a long way ahead and taking time out of him, which is very, very odd. Leppy picked up a 5-second penalty there as well. So I don't know quite what he's done to cause that. It's either obvious corner cutting, speeding in the pit lane, or speeding under the virtual safety car. Now, I don't believe he had it then, so I will assume it is from speeding in the pit lane.
Gap to car in front is 12.4 seconds. Our gap behind is 6.7 seconds. You've been awarded a time penalty for that last incident.
So holding that gap out to Leppy behind, staying on the 6-second rule. He seems to be gaining a couple of tenths, but nothing that we can't handle. 18 seconds behind Josh Boy in front now. Looking at the laps, I believe everyone's probably got one pit stop left to make. Josh Boy on the same penalties as myself, 6. Leppy's on 11 now. 5 of those will be served in the pits for him, meaning he will be left with 6 on track when he does come out after his second pit stop. So it'll be quite interesting to see where that 5 seconds drops him to. Because if he keeps it at 6, then obviously we will be racing for position and not have to rely on penalties for the position. Currently just holding on to 10th place though as it stands.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
There we go, so that is the halfway stage. We're actually closing that gap slightly to Josh Boy in front. Obviously we are on the faster tyre at the minute. I do believe he might try and go to a set of softs at the end, so I'm not going to read too much into that. Leppy we see behind has closed the gap a little bit, but in doing so he's also picked up another 3-second penalty, taking his total up to 14 at the moment.
The gap to the car ahead is 16.4 seconds.
Right, a little bit wide there. We're actually quite close to getting another penalty ourselves if we have another run across a curve, which will happen at some point, potentially in this lap. So easily done here, but I do believe in the terms of the game makers, they do need to look at it. When you run out wide by as much as certain corners have been, you lose so much time. It's not fair to be given a warning. But it is what it is, and same for everyone, I suppose. Oh, Josh,
safety car, safety car.
out.
No overtaking. Reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Okay, copy that.
There he is. Very odd place to go off the track, but
okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
But will aid our final pit stop.
Go, go, go. You'll be racing on the exit. Release, release. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
So I'd expect nearly the entire field to come in for their final pit stop. It has come just at that perfect time for most. I'm just going to back off ever slightly.
The safety car is waiting for the leader. You may overtake it. Overtake the safety car. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
There you go, so following a delta now. They're just going to keep it nice, slow, steady. So fill of fuel, which will actually benefit us in the next and last sector of the race. Also, dragging the tyres out will also help with tyre wear. Now it's too early to go on the to go onto the soft tyre. You will only get 8 laps out of a new set of softs. 9 absolute push, so yeah, you'd be looking at least lap 19, 20 for the safety car to have come out for that judgment call. I highly doubt anyone's going to go on, and we see those guys in front now pitting as well. Let's see what the exit on. Very interesting. Sean's actually gone for the soft tyre. Callum's got a new set of mediums. Obviously he started on the soft tyre, so he can do that. Here we are, it's just catching the back of the safety car queue up now. We certainly will on this main straight in a moment. Just debating how long we're going to go, because this car's so far behind the safety car still. Will it come in this lap? Probably not. I think it will go once more, but even then, not entirely sure who that is right at the back there in P14, but they are that far behind and trailing. I'd be very surprised if they caught up. So probably one more lap behind safety car. Everyone should catch up in the end. It does mean it is going to be a sprint to the finish again in this last block. Now everyone's got new tyres on. So lap 20 will be 9. So yeah, it'll be 8 lap sprint to the end on these tyres. Now Leppy has got that 3 seconds extra worth of penalties behind us at the minute. However, I can't have another warning before I pick another one up. So next time I do run wide, I will pick up a penalty. So here we are then. I'd expect safety car to come in this lap. Running P9, target was P10 just to actually finish on this occasion tonight, so running roughly where I wanted to be, although it is going to be a fight and a half. I would like to know exactly which drivers are behind. What is he doing?
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
When are we going to go? Leaving it quite late for this restart. There we go. Bolted very late. Don't know quite who's in the lead, but they certainly left for the last minute on this occasion. They have the right to leave it
Use your
whenever they
overtake
like.
button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy.
Certainly missing some of that temperature in these medium tyres though. There we are, just about fending off Leppy there. Obviously trying to have a little look, but couldn't quite make the move. Obviously we've got no DRS for the time being as well. So next target to try and break that toe. Now he was closing in the latter stages of that last stint. A bit closer than I wanted him to be. I'm not entirely sure how he's gaining quite so much on this straight, but I'll go with that. He does leave me just enough room though, so that's very nice. And way up, I was not expecting Ferrari to take that line, and he does realise that was my line.
We're starting to catch the car in front,
so
but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
So I go a little bit deep, just got to be careful of rejoining with the Ferrari. I can't go any wider, mate. It's just, yeah. I would expect him to be boxing anyway, to be completely honest. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. No, he stays out. Oh, flick of the back end there. Coming out the last corner.
The car behind is gaining on you by 0.5 a lap.
Now that turn one I'm personally not getting on with at all today, so break a little bit early again. But this first sector has been so bad for me today. I don't know, I just can't hook it up at all. And say how bad that first sector was, it's still a personal best. That's how bad it's been for me. As we enter the long back straight. Now, no DRS this time, there will be on the next lap. If you're watching there, Casey Jennett on the soft tyres behind, he's going to be pretty damn rapid on them. So I'd expect to see him right up my chuff when the DRS disabled and enabled in the next lap. Now everyone around is on 6 penalties other than Leppy on 9 and Chris Taps. So be quite interested to see what we do now. He's not losing a lot of time with that front wing damage that he's obviously got as well. So I've got to keep an eye on that because we do need to pull 6 seconds over the remainder of the race. Could do with him pitting or picking up a penalty. Want to fight for this point tonight, don't really want to come away empty-handed. At the same time, I would like it to continue to be a clean race.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
That's right on the limit there. Nearly picking up a penalty. Managed to keep it just inside. Mazepin has retired.
Okay, the safety car is out. The safety car is out. We need to form up at a reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive.
Now, do's and don'ts is the question. Let's have a look what everyone around us does. Is there anyone going to be jumping in the pits at this late stage of the race?
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
Not enough boxing to make it worth it personally, so I'm going to go round. There's a couple in the pits there, so track position. And obviously I was paying attention to that, wasn't
drive-through penalty. You have a drive-through penalty.
I did see the timing screen drop there, which is weird, and then come back, but so drive-through penalty for doing absolutely fuck all wrong. Falling too far back from the pack, yeah, I haven't actually caught the pack yet. calm beams.
Right, pick up the pace a touch, please. We need to close to within 10
so
car lengths of the car ahead.
Partially good race. We definitely won't be now. That is a drive-through penalty, which is going to put us right to the back of the pack, and that will probably be good enough for P13 last place tonight.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Jesus. I didn't touch the throttle.
Let's catch up to the field a bit. We're dropping too far back. Remember that we need to stay within 10 car lengths of the next car. Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
So we've got Jake in front who's actually got a drive-through penalty as well, probably for the same reason. I'm not sure what happened to the Delta when it messed up, but we'll have to serve it or it disqualifies you from the race. So it does mean my actual race now, for the remainder, is going to be Jake.
You're dropping a second a lap to the car behind, 1 second.
Oh, oh, oh! Oh no, I didn't realise Walker was on his outside.
Okay, the gap behind is 2.8 seconds. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
I suppose one advantage is knowing that optics is not actually driving as a car, so it will be removed. So that is one extra place, I suppose, in P11, which is probably even more annoying for me, to be completely honest. Because it means it was just one place off the points. Oh, this car right now is horrible to drive. And the worst bit is, because it's taken damage, it is naturally going to change tyres as well. I think exactly the same thing happening behind us with the McLaren of Jake.
Complete, go now.
That was almost synchronised between the two of us. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the other penalties are that we both have, so this is now a sprint. 2 laps. We have got to not come over the start finish line on this next lap. We both have to go through the pits for a drive-through penalty, so it is going to be very close indeed. Not entirely sure what other penalties Jake does have. Now, I know I have 9 seconds. We had it at the end of the race. Now, if he's only got 3, I'm right in that window. If he's got 6, I should be able to get him. Stay ahead on penalty
This
points.
is your final chance to serve the penalty. Enter the pits this lap or will be disqualified from the race.
As we get a penalty reminder to serve the penalty, so we certainly will. There we go.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Whoa, yeah, that wasn't the plan. Thankfully, 1 is last lap, and 2, Jake's the only car behind me. So, yeah. I'm glad that one is over. 12th would be 11th because of optics not actually being in the race. It was a AI as he left the race in the first stint, so it will actually classify as 11th place this evening. That certainly didn't go to plan from lap 1 when a McLaren, God, have a little look into it, cut us off into turn 1, caused us a little bit where we had to then catch up on the VSC. Lost about 5 seconds and 2 places. I don't actually know who that was, so I'll certainly be watching it back myself later. Other than that, everyone fought hard there. It was just some manoeuvres were dodgy from everyone, including myself tonight, I think. There's some very interesting overtakes, not quite in the spirit that we normally see in terms of clean overtakes, and yeah, I don't like the track anyway, overly, personally, but certainly glad to see the end of tonight's session.